So just last weekend, Sean Brady did a little bit of a surprise and beat Calvin Gastelum dominantly and finishing with a submission in round number 3. Now, the reason why this result was actually somewhat surprising isn't because Sean Brady was a slight favourite on the night. It was because he was coming off a performance where he got finished by the man that doesn't finish anybody in Belal Muhammad. In fact, he actually got TKO'd up against the cage, and even worse, it was a TKO where he got hit with a couple of shots and then kind of caved in a little bit. It almost was like Sean Brady didn't really know how to deal with Belal Muhammad, which does pose the question, is Belal Muhammad the hardest hitter at 170? And is Belal Muhammad the GOAT at 170 pounds? Is Belal Muhammad's resume better than George St. Pierre's and Kamaru Usman's? Maybe that is up for debate, because that win against Sean Brady, and especially the way that he beat Sean Brady, has aged quite well. But I'm not just going to be here to talk about Belal Muhammad. I've actually got quite a bit to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about the overall state of the rankings at 170 in the UFC, because where does Belal Muhammad actually fit into this? Because we've got the big title shot taking place in a couple of weeks' time, at the time that I record this video. It's going to be a Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington in a massive title fight. Leon Edwards is going to be defending his belt against Colby Covington, and depending on who wins that matchup, could depend on who is going to get the next title shot. Because let's be real, Colby Covington versus Belal Muhammad is probably not the most interesting matchup. I'm sure they'll probably pull something off with Colby Covington if he is to win. But if Leon Edwards is to win, and Shavkat Rakhmonov also happens to win on that same night, I think that we're going to be much more likely to see Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Leon Edwards than Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. So has Belal Muhammad really done enough to get a title shot? Because to be honest, maybe he hasn't. But at the end of the day, Belal Muhammad is probably the number one ranked guy right now, because Kamaru Usman is most likely going to be committing to a move to 185 pounds. I know he's fought Chimaev on short notice, but maybe a 185 pound move could be it. But maybe if Colby Covington defeats Leon Edwards, the chances of them doing Usman versus Covington actually could be quite high. So is Belal Muhammad really going to get a title shot? And if not, what can he do? Because he's coming off that win over Gilbert Burns. Now, to be fair, that win over Gilbert Burns was over a somewhat injured Gilbert Burns. And if they're not going to give Belal Muhammad the title shot, what is there next for Belal Muhammad? Is he going to have to fight Stephen Thompson in a rematch, or even fight Shavkat Rakhmonov? That's what a lot of fans are inferring is going to happen. So I don't really know what's going on with the rankings at 170 right now, because at the end of the day, Belal Muhammad has done enough to earn a title shot. But will the UFC grant it to him? Will the UFC do Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards, or will the UFC do Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Leon Edwards? Because let's be real, they probably don't really want Belal as the champion. Belal Muhammad isn't a guy that's going to go out there and sell a lot of tickets. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and put on firefights at the top of a pay-per-view every single time. You can't really headline a pay-per-view with Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. You'd probably have to put Muhammad versus Edwards as like the co-main event of the John Jones event. Maybe even on like UFC 300 under Conor McGregor or something like that, you could probably pull that off. But do the UFC really want to do that? Probably not. So I think Belal Muhammad's just in a really weird situation right now, where he has actually earned a title shot. He's beaten Gilbert Burns, albeit he couldn't finish Gilbert Burns, and it was obvious that Gilbert Burns had some sort of injury in that fight. And he's beaten Sean Brady, he's beaten Vicente Luque, and he's beaten Stephen Thompson. All of these guys he's beaten in the last, 2 years or so. They're all very high ranked still. Like, Luque's still, I believe, a top 10 guy, top 8 guy. Stephen Thompson's still the 6th ranked guy. Gilbert Burns is ranked number 4. What is there really for Belal Muhammad to do next? Now, yes, the truth is he doesn't sell tickets, and he probably won't. I don't really see them doing much, but is Belal Muhammad going to get the next title shot? I don't really think they grant it to him. So the best way for Belal Muhammad to get the title shot, in my opinion, is probably for Colby Covington to win at UFC 296, because I'm pretty sure the UFC would much rather do Leon Edwards versus Shavkat Rakhmonov than Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad too, unless they want to try and go down the unfinished business route, because the first fight did end in that no contest when Leon Edwards did make a return after a very long time away, and then he fought Nate Diaz, and then he took on Usman. Because I feel like Even then, though, if Covington beats Leon Edwards, they might do Leon Edwards versus, sorry, Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman, and then Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad is the #1 contender fight anyway. So I don't actually know what the UFC is gonna do with Belal Muhammad. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know who do you think is actually gonna get the next title shot at 170 pounds. Now I do understand that there are some pretty big kind of glaring holes here, that there are a lot of fighters that don't have fights booked. Belal Muhammad's best bet, probably just to really guarantee a title shot, might be to fight again. Maybe fight Belal Muhammad, maybe to fight Jeff Neal, but maybe it's too late for him to book a fight and try and get a fight booked for him. So I don't really know. There are quite a few guys that are booked. Now I do know for a fact that there are quite a few fights in the works for a lot of welterweights, so I won't air that out. I won't kind of release unreleased news, but there are some pretty big name fights that are actually probably going to be announced soon. So there are some guys that will be available for Belal, or will be unavailable, sorry, for Belal Muhammad to fight. But I don't necessarily know what to expect with Belal. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The title shots, the title's probably going to be kind of funny. I think I might do like Future Goat or something in the thumbnail. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll also announce something for the guys that did stay around for the very end of this video. I'm gonna start a new YouTube channel coming soon. If you guys are unaware, I'm very passionate about disc golf. I'm gonna start making videos about disc golf, maybe even some videos of me playing disc golf, just kind of talking about it like I do here, but maybe some more like in person, so you guys can like watch me play disc golf and get better over time. And the end of the day, the goal really is to get sponsored by a pretty big company that I'm really keen on getting sponsored by, and I do believe that I could pull it off if I could build up a channel under disc golf and get better myself, because I am starting to play pretty good. Like I got second at a tournament just last weekend, so let's see what we can do. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.